Hey, this is Mr. Biz. How are you? I hope everyone is healthy and safe. The other day I was going to go visit my sister, and she lives, I would say about 10 minutes away from where I live. And I get in on the road there, and I'm driving up Shiloh, and I get behind a few cars that were slower than me. And even though the posted speed limit uh, said 45, I think they were going a little bit less than what the speed uh, limit was. So obviously that added to my impatience, and um, I was getting kind of annoyed. Well, they come up to our second roundabout. They one of the cars pulled off into the side street, and the other one stayed in their lane, so which gave me the opportunity to pass, or to at least get from behind them. And as I'm going, I start feeling the old biz kicking, the young biz, um, the need for speed, Mr. Biz, and I get around this roundabout and I see just a clear lane. I don't see anything ahead of me, and I'm thinking, ooh, I should punch it, you know? And part of me said, no, don't do it. Just enjoy the drive. And even though there was a part of me that said, punch it, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to just take it easy. And I did. I just stayed at the posted speed limit, and I just kept driving. And what I thought was really cool is right when I made that decision, I passed a cop. He was kind of hiding in this little area here, and I looked over, and um, now had I sped and had I punched it a little bit, I might have got caught for speeding. But thankfully I didn't, and I just remember looking at him going, "Oh, jeez," um, kind of made me feel good that I didn't speed. But now the reason I say that is this. We're going to start a new unit. It's called Making Good Decisions. And every one of us um, have made and will make and decisions that will affect uh, our lives, whether it's a positive consequence or a negative consequence. We're all going to make decisions that affect our daily lives. Okay. So no matter what we go through, we have to look at um, what's ahead of us, and obviously there are some decisions that you just make on the fly. You don't really think about it, and they just happen. But today we're going to look at why it's so important to actually take time to look at what's ahead. Okay, for you eighth graders going on to high school, I mean that's a pretty big jump. And my advice to you right now is to start thinking ahead. Start thinking about what you want to accomplish by the end of your high school life. Sixth graders, you're going to be moving up to the seventh grade, and seventh grade is going to be moving on to the eighth grade. Seventh graders, this is your pretty much your last year where if you make a mistake in school, it's not going to be held against you. Once you get into high school, every grade counts. And we see that a lot with the freshmen going in. They feel like it's the same thing in high school, or they feel like they can still get away with certain things in high school. But the reality is, the grades come back to haunt you, and the grade, you really got to stay on top of things. So today we're going to look at that and just kind of really decide, um, give you guys advice. Okay, so with that being said, obviously, if you look at the headlines, we make choices every day. Now, I was reading something that said the average person will make close to 800,000 decisions over a lifetime. And about 150 of those decisions we will regret. Okay. An average adult will make about 27 judgments a day. Now that's, I know this morning I woke up, my alarm was going off, and I had a choice. I can either just get up or hit the snooze. I hit the snooze again. So then there's a choice. Now, as a young person, you know, it's a tough one because, so much is expected of you guys. And, sometimes we as adults forget that, you guys are kids and that sometimes you will make a bad decision. But a decision is a choice that is made. And so when we start thinking about this, please understand that this is actually a pretty good lesson to get into. So what is a good decision? A good decision is a decision in which you have carefully considered the outcome of each choice. Okay, I chose not to punch the wheel, the gas. I wanted to. There was a part of me that just said, "Gun it, get over to my sister's house as fast as I can." But I chose just to stay within the speed limit, which now looking back, I made the right decision because who knows? Maybe I would have got a speeding ticket, But good decisions are what we call responsible decisions. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys go to class. You have a choice. You know what the teacher's expectations are. And you decide, do I come prepared or do I not? Do I bring paper? Do I not? Do I bring a pencil or no? You go to gym, and we see this every day. We have a few kids that no matter what day it is, they bring their gym shorts and their t-shirt and their shoes and they're ready to go. Other kids have forgot it or lost it or, who knows where they put it. Other kids legitimately have left it at home and into their laundry. So, but the point is, what I'm trying to tell you is that we each make decisions. And some of those decisions will hurt you, or some of those decisions will help you. Okay? So what influences your decisions? Everybody. Your family, society, experiences. If you got bit by a dog, and chances are you may not want to go pet another dog based on that experience. The media. You see it all over the news. You see, what's good, what's bad, and do you trust the media? Do you not trust the media? The fact is, it's out there. You see this with celebrities, with Snapchat, and a lot of these, challenges, and it is really kind of crazy that you guys are being influenced by so many influences out there, and so to me, I could just remember my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's almost 19 years old right now, but when she was a baby, I remember we were near a puddle. It was a little mud puddle, and she looked at me and she just gave me those eyes, and I knew without speaking to her, I knew she wanted to jump in that puddle. Now, had I given her the nod of approval, she would have been inside that mud puddle and, flat just as fast as she could. But I looked at her and I saw that look in her and I was like, no. And so some of these decisions are actually influenced on you guys. My parents, if they told me I had to be back by 7:30, if I went back, I got back at 7:45, chances are my decision not to be back on time, that's going to influence my ability to go out the next night. So again, some decisions are made for you, some of the decisions you've made for yourself, but we all have to live with our consequences. Okay, a consequence is a result of an action that you take. You want to come prepared for class, chances are you're going to succeed. You don't want to bring a pencil or paper to class, or you don't want to do your homework, chances are you're not going to be very successful. Especially now as middle schoolers, a lot of you guys are starting to look around and see what's out there. Unfortunately, example, some of us have short-term consequences and some of us have long-term consequences. A short-term consequence is something that happens suddenly. Let's say you guys are goofing around and you're one of your friends comes up to you and say, hey, I got PE next hour. Can I borrow your gym clothes? And you give him your gym clothes, and he goes off and participates. And the next period, it's your PE time, and you go and find him, or you go to try to find your friend, and he's nowhere to be found. And now all of a sudden, you have to go talk to your cooperating teacher and say, I don't have my clothes. Okay, that's a short-term consequences. Another example that they're telling you right here, if you ever do try cigarettes, and I hope you never do, but I know that, when you first try a cigarette, you may cough, you may not, that's what we call a short-term consequence. Now, continued use, long-term use, a long-term consequence of that decision is that you may develop lung disease or cancer. So these are two different types of consequences, a short-term consequences and a long-term consequence. Now, every decision has a consequence. The consequence can be positive, neutral, or negative. Okay. Again, you're in PE, you show up, you have your clothes. Okay, you get the full grades for the day. That's a positive consequence. You go to PE, you don't have any clothes. Yeah, as teachers, we have no problem loaning you clothes, and we have no problem giving you what you need to be successful. But over a course of time, if you keep not bringing your clothes, eventually it's going to start affecting your grade. That's a negative consequence, So whenever we're looking at a decision, whether it's do I hit the snooze? Do I sleep in? Do I go play with this friend? Do I, ride my bike down, dead man's curve or whatever? The fact is, we're all going to make decisions. And hopefully you guys take a few minutes or take time and look at what some of the consequences might be. Okay, well, I hope you guys are doing good, and I will see you when I see you, and talk to you later. Bye.